what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Today I thought we'd talk about the pros and cons of a full-size overland rig. So let's talk about some of the most obvious pros. So you have endless space, right? You can fit lots of people, you can fit lots of gear, you have a large payload. But I'll say, outside of the kind of obvious pros of size, space, things like that, that's kind of where the line ends. Everything outside that's kind of a con. So let's kind of do a walk around here. I'll kind of show you why. So this is pretty specific to my truck, but it is the F-150 EcoBoost. Because of that, the intercooler is mounted really low in the front. So where you would normally put a hidden winch, it's not really an option. You can spend $2,000 and relocate it and do all of that. Some people do, but it's a lot of money and a lot of work to get a winch. You won't have that problem on a 5.0 F-150, or if you have a different truck, I don't know. You know, that's something you'll need to look up in your specific circumstance. Another thing that's specific to my truck, but pretty much every other truck out there except the Gladiator, as far as I know, is independent front suspension. It's not the end of the world, obviously, but it's not the ideal world. It's something you have to deal with. You don't have as much flex, you know, so that can be a problem. It really depends on what you're trying to do. And again, I mean, it all depends on what you're trying to do. No one person can tell you what specific rig is going to work for you and if a full size is a good or a bad idea. It all just depends on what your goals are, you know. Another thing that you're going to find on most trucks, it's more of an issue with full size, obviously, over mid-size, is the breakover angle. You know, you have a really long wheelbase. In my case, with the F-150, the Super Crew cab, it's not the worst thing ever. You know, I have a 5.5 foot bed, but it's a pretty long wheelbase. The other thing is the departure angle, and you know, this can be kind of offset with bumpers and things like that, but it's not the most ideal thing in the world. In my case, I have a high clearance front bumper with a skid plate, which definitely helps over the factory bumper. And probably the most specific thing, at least in my case, is that I live in the Pacific Northwest, and the trails out here are pretty damn tight. You know, most of them are for Jeeps or side-by-sides. You know, you see a good amount of 4Runners and stuff like that. And I mean, honestly, my truck can go down most of them, but it's pinstriped to hell. You know, that's, I think with the full size, pinstriping is something that you have to, you know, accept and live with. But look, here's the deal. You just got to get out there and go overlanding, go camping, go off-roading, see what works. You know, that's the best advice anyone ever gave me. I started with this truck. Yeah, it would be more ideal to have a mid-size, but it's what I had, you know. So just go out there and hit some trails. But that's it for this one. If there's any questions, feel free to drop a comment and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.